Thank you. If you would bow your heads, please. Dear gracious and heavenly Father, Lord, we come before you and just lift up your name with praise and thankfulness. Dear Lord, we ask you to be with us this evening. Guide us. Thank you for all the blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
Bennell.
Present.
Gauntz.
Yes, ma'am.
Honeycutt.
Here.
Kirkpatrick.
Yes, ma'am.
Lowry. Neal. Norris.
Here.
Trigg. Witcher.
First order of business, let's get to the minutes. You have before you the minutes of our last meeting, which was Monday, May the 9th, 2022. If anybody's found any deletions or corrections, please let us know, and if not, I'll accept a motion to approve.
Motion, Norris.
Have a motion by Councilmember Norris. Second by Councilmember Witcher. All those approved signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. The first point of business is we have a new police officer. He's going to be out on the street in the morning. His name is Jonathan Pendley, and I'm going to ask Jonathan to come forward, and I'll meet you right up here in the front, and we're going to swear him in, and his wife Holly is here tonight to pin him. So bear with us just a minute. If you would, just raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
I, Jonathan Pendley, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of police officer for the city of Glasgow,
and I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of police officer for the city of Glasgow,
according to law.
according to law.
And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of this present Constitution,
I have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within the state nor out of it,
I have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within the state nor out of it,
nor have I accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons,
nor have I accepted the challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons,
nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offended, so help me God.
nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God.
I further solemnly swear that I will endeavor to the best of my ability to detect and prosecute all gamblers and all other violating the laws against gaming.
I further solemnly swear that I will endeavor to the best of my ability to detect and prosecute all gamblers and others violating the laws against gaming.
Congratulations, Holly. You want to come in? Chief, you want to get you?
Now a proud daddy on top of that, so congratulations.
Officer Beaver, you do not have to sit through the rest of this meeting tonight. If you and your family want to leave, we understand.
When I say he's a proud new daddy, I mean he's a proud new daddy. I think the baby girl's born on your graduation, right, or day before you graduated. The day before he was to graduate, the baby was born. DOCJ worked with him to make sure he was able to be there.
If he needs a picture of me with the baby, I believe that can include too.
Yeah, we'll get a picture.
And maybe and then one with the whole family if you like. We're not that big already.
And if you need any of us to hold the baby.
Come here. Like Gannon, here.
my best.
Ms. Briggs, do you care to illuminate? Is that you? Is it that way or something?
Whatever I can do to make his job easier is fine.
Probably roll that switch right here, get these overhead glaring lights on. There you go. See that now?
I'm going to sit right here. Thank you, Mayor, Council, for having me. I had a really long presentation tonight, but I know you guys are kind of busy, so I cut it down to about 45 minutes. I hope you all will be okay with that. Okay, that'll work. So just a brief history on the Parks Department. There's only been 4 directors in our years of service, and believe it or not, I'm the second longest tenured director there. It's hard to believe that, but that's the case. Some history on our parks. Those are the parks that we have and the facilities that we take care of. Our oldest one, Gorham Park, opened in 1950. Our newest one, Beaver Creek, opened in 1997. So as you can tell, they're getting some age on them. So it's time for us to start looking at doing some big upgrades or doing some other things as well. Some of the different programs that we have. So if y'all remember 2020, we basically didn't do anything because of COVID as far as programming. Spring of 2021 is when we offered our first full program, and that was our spring soccer. You can see the numbers there in front of you, or up on the board, I'm sorry. So far, 2022, our numbers are continuing to increase. Our youth soccer program has increased tremendously. That's our largest program that we offer, and it continues to grow season by season. That is the one program where we're going to have to look at doing something in the very near future as far as field space. I think most of you are familiar with how our soccer fields work. It's a collaboration between the city and county schools and the city and county government, and we're overrunning that soccer complex. So someday we're going to have to look at that. So here's some pictures of some of the programs that we offer just to show you guys what we do. This is our summer day camp program. We have a lot of help from police and fire. They come out and talk to the kids. Kids take field trips to Ralphie's. They go to the movies and things like that. That's a big hit for us. Soccer, again, this is the biggest program that we offer. It's hard to tell from those pictures, but there's no parking out there. You can see on the bottom picture and actually both bottom pictures, the parking goes all the way out to the road. There are 2 or 3 deep parked, plus the original parking lot. Last year we did a Halloween drive-through event, which was a great hit. A lot of people on Main Street might not have liked it because it was backed up pretty far, but the mayor, he can attest to it. We were there for several hours, and we had probably a little bit over 1,000 people come through. I don't know how many cars exactly, but it was a big turnout. A lot of people braved the cold weather that day. Easter egg hunt from this past year, we had over 600 kids come out for that. We pass out 12,000 plus eggs, a lot of prizes, and just a good time for our community. Some adult programs that we offer, volleyball and cornhole. That's down in our lower gym up at Liberty Street. This past fall, we started offering tennis again, and with the help of the USTA and some grants, we offered some free tennis clinics. We had 3 in the fall and 3 in the spring, and they were a very good success for us. A lot of kids came out. We offered it inside as well. You'll see some of those participants in those bottom pictures. The top 2 pictures, that's our gym up at Liberty Street. We're very proud of that. We've renovated it over the years and try to keep it in tip-top shape, so we like to show it off when we can. So some upgrades that took place last year. We had a group of volunteers and local artists that came to Gorham Park, and they painted a very nice mural on one of the basketball courts. This coming summer, actually in the next couple of weeks, they're going to start on the second court, paint another mural on that one as well. My maintenance crew built a new shelter at Gorham Park as well, and that's next to the new playground. Over at Weldon Park, we installed our first pour-in-place surfacing playground. That was done with a grant that we were able to get. And on top of that, that playground also made the cover of the 2022 Miracle Recreation Playground Catalog. And I've got some pictures of that in just a minute. And actually starting tomorrow out at Beaver Creek Park, both parking lots are going to be paved. Well, one tomorrow and then the next one later in the week. But both of our parking lots are going to be paved, which that's a project that we've been working on. The walking trail that is out in the middle, that will be widened this fall. And the best news of all, as of Friday, we opened bids for a new playground out at Beaver Trail, or Beaver Creek, and that will be going on later this fall. And I've got some pictures of that to show you here shortly. So this is the cover, or this is actually some pictures from the catalog that we made. There was a big photo shoot done last year, and all those kids here, some of them are city employees, kids. Troy, your daughter's in that picture too. So we have several kids from the community that were able to take place in this. This is the pour-in-place surfacing at Weldon Park. It's a rubber surface. It's the best of the best, and we're very, very happy to have that. Gorham Park, that's the new shelter that we had built. On the right, you'll see a mural of wings. The group that painted the basketball court also did that for us. There was some graffiti on that wall, and they took care of it for us. And then that's the mural of the basketball court. So it's really, really nice. The other one's going to be similar to that, and both courts will look pretty similar. And then that's just my staff. We've got a small staff, but we are strong with what we do. We still do have one position open right now. We're looking to fill that in the coming months. So that's my presentation for that. I do have some pictures to show. Yes.
You tell the group here, we did pretty sizable grants to work on those, the track down there, the walking.
The walking track, yeah, we did receive a grant. A lot of the stuff that we do actually comes from grants. The pour-in-place surfacing, that was all grant money, or a very big portion of grant money. The walking trail at Beaver Creek, to widen it, that's all part of a grant as well. And we're hoping to get some more grant money to do some more playground stuff as well with the surfacing. So I'm going to turn the lights on real quick and show you some pictures of the new playground. Can I get somebody to help me real quick? Yeah. He looked like he needed to do something. Yeah. So, this is all the same playground, but this is what's going in at Beaver Creek Park. It's state of the art. It's just different angles. Oh, yeah, just different angles.
Yeah, and that's an addition or a replacement?
Replacement. We're taking out the old playground and all this will be replacement. I'll show you guys. It's going to be our biggest playground by far. And we're very excited for that to come later this year. Is there any questions for me that I might be able to answer for you? At Twyman? So Twyman Park, happy if you're not familiar with, we renovated the basketball court down there. We put a new playground down there. We did some stuff to the bridge. There are plans in this upcoming budget to redo the bathrooms, to build new bathrooms, not redo them. So we've already done quite a bit down there. We're just waiting on the bathrooms, basically. And that whole park will be renovated.
Any other projects in the 10-year plan, the future?
So if you guys aren't familiar, most of these upgrades have taken place. We've been following the master plan that we did several years ago. We still have a long ways to go. For instance, our city pool, it's 46 years old this summer. It's way more than outlived its lifespan, but that's something that we really need to look at. Like I said earlier, we need more field space for soccer especially. Both of our gyms are getting quite a bit of age on them. One of them is in pretty bad shape. I know the Parks Committee had seen some of those pictures and took a tour of that one. So those are some of the big upgrades. Bathrooms are always one of our needs, which the new budget or the upcoming budget is going to address several of those. So we're getting there, but small steps. Yeah. Anybody else?
Appreciate your hard work and good presentation.
Yep.
Council is glad to see that here.
Thank you.
So much.
Mhm.
The other department is a one-man show, and that's our risk and safety, which is Lance Clemens. And he's going to come up here and tell you the good news of how we went a couple months without a heavy loss.
Hey, Lance, use the podium if you can, I'll see you that way.
If I can get this mic to work. So it's been a little while. I don't have a nice presentation like Eddie's. It's been a little while since I've been in front of you guys. My name is Lance Crimmins. I've been with the city for almost 9 years now. I am the safety and risk manager for the city, and what that entails is there's kind of two sides to what I do. On the preventive side, I work with the department heads and the departments to try to identify risks to their employees, safety risks, so that we can eliminate those before we have somebody get hurt. I do training for the employees. We just have trained almost all the city police officers this year, got them certified in first aid and CPR. We've done that with the Public Works Department a little bit as well. Had a class last week, have a class next week, or this week, excuse me. So we do training of all different kinds. I'll go to facilities and inspect them and look at them and try to identify risks so that they can see where I think they need to work on things. And we've been pretty successful. When I came in 9 years ago, the city was having somewhere in the area of about 30 to 35 injuries a year. This year, we're, knock on wood, we still got one more month to go, but we're at 10. We've had 10 injuries this year. It was 13 last year and 20 the year before, so we are chipping away at that number. And that's the work of the city departments. I mean, I'm just a resource and here to help them, but that's the department heads doing a good job. On the other side of my job, the reactive side, is I also manage the city's insurance programs, not the health insurance, but the workers' compensation, liability, general liability, property, auto. Really, what that entails for me is acting as a liaison between, again, the department heads and the city and our carriers. In this case, it's KLC and Collins and Company who manages it. In that regard, I don't have any good news for you this year, but in future, this coming fiscal year, it's kind of flat from last year, but rates run on a 3-year average, if you don't know that, and so I can tell you that next fiscal year, the fiscal year after this one, we are on track to drop off some pretty significant numbers, and the fact that we are doing better now this year is going to be a big help to us in the future. I didn't want to bore you with numbers and statistics, so I didn't go. I have some stuff, and I'd be happy to answer questions if anybody has any. If not, I also do this for the water company in the city, and I'm opposite at the water company. If anybody has any questions, they want to come see me. Thank you.
Thank you, Lance. I deal with Lance on a weekly basis, more or less, and he does a great job. He is very attentive to our problems, and he says it's departments, but it's under his training that departments have been able to reduce it so much. So thank you again, Lance, for your good work, and we appreciate you coming before this body and describing what you do. Next item of business, second reading of an ordinance amending the ordinance 2002-2400, which is the Glasgow Historic Preservation Commission authorizing designation therein. And the first reading of this was done in a summary, and that will allow us to do this reading in a summary. So bear with us. I think the last meeting, we finally got it all down to the facts of where it needs to be.
The City of Glasgow ordinance number 2022-blank, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2002-2400, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, creating the Glasgow Historic Preservation Commission and authorizing the designation of landmarks, landmark sites, and historic districts, and the regulation of changes to landmarks and property in historic districts, and providing for penalties for the violation thereof. Be it hereby ordained by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, that the Historic Preservation Committee is hereby recommending changes to Chapter 99 of the Code of Ordinances, whereby ordinance number 2002-2400 is hereby amended in summary as follows. Section 1, 99.02, definitions, certificate of appropriateness, adding page 4 of the original document, page 3 of the amended document, quote, a certificate from the Glasgow Historic Preservation Commission attained at no cost. Next section, 99.32, approval of changes. Section A, sub 1, adding page 14 of the original document and page 10 of the amended document. A, subsection 1, subsection A, alteration of the exterior of a building or structure that is visible to the public. Activities which require a certificate of appropriateness include but are not limited to, adding subsection A through J. A, repair or replacement of roofs, gutters, siding, masonry, external doors and windows, trim, lights, and other pertinent fixtures with different materials or different design. B, removal or relocation of a building, structure, or object, or a portion thereof, including outbuildings. C, new construction or any enlargement, modification, or alteration of the exterior of an existing building, structure, or object which requires a building permit. D, removal, replacement, or enclosure of porches. E, basic alteration of materials, including installation of siding, shingles, or masonry facing. F, installation or removal of fencing or fence walls. G, installation or removal of shutters. H, removal, installation, modification, or alteration of exterior architectural features. I, exterior sandblasting, water blasting, other abrasive cleaning or chemical cleaning. And J, first-time painting or permanent removal of paint. 99.32, approval of changes, adding page 20 of original document, page 15 of amended document, section N, new owners. Purchase of a building in the downtown historic district requires, number 1, communication with the Historic Preservation Commission to ensure all requirements of the Historic Preservation District are understood and to acknowledge any outstanding business or violations with the Historic Preservation Commission, and 2, a good faith effort by the property owner to communicate with the Commission regarding any proposed alterations and or maintenance beyond that what is defined by this ordinance as ordinary. 99.34, approval of changes, meetings with owners about condition of buildings. The following sentence has been added to section H, page 17 of the original document, page 13 of the amended document. H, the Commission shall request a meeting with the owner of properties within a historic district that it considers to be vacant or underutilized, and the Commission shall discuss with each owner ways to better utilize their property so that it might better contribute to the economic well-being and preservation of the historic district. 99.99, penalty, adding language. The following sentence has been added, page 21 of the original document, page 15 of the amended document. Within 30 days of notice, the city shall levy a lien on the property of such a person or entity committing the violation for all unpaid fines, penalties, charges, and fees imposed pursuant to this chapter. The lien shall be superior to and have priority over all other subsequent liens on the property except state, county, school, and city taxes. Civil penalties imposed for violation of this chapter shall be enforced by and through the provisions of Chapter 36 regarding the Code Enforcement Officer and Code Enforcement Board. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon its passage and publication according to law. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest Mona Simmons, City Clerk. First reading, May 9th, 2022. Second reading, May 23rd, 2022.
Having heard the second reading of this ordinance, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion by Benel.
Have a motion by Councilmember Benel and a second by Councilmember Kirkpatrick. Second reading, we need a roll call vote, I'm sorry.
Gantz,
Yes, ma'am.
Honeycutt,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes, ma'am.
Lowry, Neal,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Trigg,
No.
Witcher,
Yes.
Benel.
Yes.
Be heard that the second reading of the ordinance is passed, so the ordinance is passed. The next item, second reading of ordinance number 2022 an ordinance enacting and adopting supplement 2022 S-52 to the Code of Ordinance of the City of Glasgow.
City of Glasgow ordinance number 2022-blank, an ordinance enacting and adopting supplement 2022 S-52 to the Code of Ordinances of the City of Glasgow, Kentucky. Whereas American Legal Publishing Corporation of Cincinnati, Ohio has completed the 2022 S-52 supplement to the Code of Ordinances, Exhibit A, of the City of Glasgow, which supplement contains all ordinances of a general nature enacted since the prior supplement to the Code of Ordinances of this municipality, and whereas American Legal Publishing Corporation has recommended the revision or addition of certain sections of the Code of Ordinances which are based on or make references to sections of the Kentucky Revised Statutes, and whereas it is the intent of council to accept these updated sections in accordance with the changes of the law of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, now therefore be it ordained by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, Section 1, that the 2022 S-52 supplement to the Code of Ordinances of the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, as submitted by American Legal Publishing Corporation of Cincinnati, and as attached hereto as Exhibit A, will be in the same as hereby adopted by reference as if set out in its entirety. Section 2, that this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its date of passage, approval, and publication as required by law. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest Mona Simmons, City Clerk. First reading, May 9th, 2022. Second reading, May 23rd, 2022.
Having heard this ordinance, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion Kirkpatrick. Second Lowry.
Motion by Councilmember Kirkpatrick, second by Councilmember Lowry. Being the second reading, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Honeycutt,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes, ma'am.
Lowry, Neal,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Trigg,
Yes.
Witcher,
Yes.
Benel,
Yes.
Gantz.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ordinance passes. The next item is second reading of ordinance number 2022 an ordinance relating to the amendment of the rules and regulations affecting collection of garbage in the City of Glasgow, Kentucky.
City of Glasgow ordinance number 2022, an ordinance relating to amendment of the rules and regulations affecting collection of garbage in the City of Glasgow, Kentucky. This amendment updates rates in ordinance number 2019-2941, dated September 9th, 2019. Whereas the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, due to changing circumstances and conditions, does now require an amendment to their garbage collection rules and regulations. Now therefore be it hereby ordained by the City of Glasgow, the amendments to the rules and regulations are as follows. Section number 1, 50.16 garbage collection mandatory. A, garbage collection by the city sanitation department shall be mandatory at all residential units within the city limits. Section number 2, 2015 container specifications. A, it shall be the duty of owners, tenants, or persons in charge of every dwelling, house, store, manufacturing establishment, office building, or other buildings in the city to place or cause to be placed all garbage and refuse accumulated on the premises in official City of Glasgow roll dumpsters, or it will not be collected. Subsection B, carts must be at your curb no later than 7 a.m. the day of your collection and no earlier than 6 p.m. the night before. Trash that's been disturbed by wind or animals is considered litter and will not be picked up by the city. It's the responsibility of the occupant. There shall be no household garbage in plastic bags outside the cart. A, do not overload the cart, maximum load of 200 pounds. This will cause unnecessary damage to the carts. B, do not place hot ashes, paint, solvents, oil, liquids of any kind, hot charcoal, batteries, hazardous waste, construction debris, auto parts, junk items, dirt, rocks, or other items not normally found in household waste in the cart. Do not put yard waste in the cart, and the cart must be kept clean to comply with health and sanitation requirements, wash the cart periodically with detergent and water. Keep the lid of the cart closed at all times except to place garbage in the cart. This will prevent water from entering and placing unnecessary weight in the cart. It will also prevent trash from blowing out, the entry of insects, and the entry of animals. Do not let children play in or with the cart. Section number 3, location of containers for collection. Carts must be positioned at the edge of the curb and at least 3 feet away from other carts. Walls, buildings, poles, and so forth do not block sidewalks. Section 4. All of Section 50.19 is deleted. Section 5, 50.20 rates for garbage collection and the discount. The minimum monthly rates for garbage collection of garbage hauled in city packers is as follows. Number 1, Category 1, for residents, apartments, and mobile homes. Each unit that had been $8 due to the discount is now $10. Each rate that had been $12 per month is now $14 without the discount. Category number 2, business and commercial. Previously, the monthly rate was $15 per month. It's now $19. It had been raised to $17, but had not been official change in the rate structure, but it was just actually raised $2 to $19. Category number 3, additional issued roll dumpsters had previously been $5, and they now shall be $7. B2, all persons claiming the discount shall, on or before the first day of the birth month of each year, complete and file with the Glasgow City Hall Administrative Clerk on a form prescribed and made available by the Administrative Clerk the claim for discount provided in this division. The claim shall be effective for the 12-month period following the first day of the birth month of each year. New garbage collection customers during such 12-month period and persons attaining the age of 65 years or becoming disabled during the 12-month period may ask the claim for discount after the first day of the birth month of each year. Section 6. Section 50.21 B and E are deleted. Section 7, disposal of garbage and refuse at the landfill, Glasgow Regional Landfill, C7. All customers of the landfill shall receive a numbered receipt for payment, whether paid by cash, check, card, or monthly billing. The receipt shall include the date, the name of the commercial hauler, and or the individual, time of day, weight, origin, and type of garbage and or refuse. Section 8, 50.36, and this is the table, and I'll try to make this clear if I can. For waste generated from residential sources that originates in the city, the rate had been previously $1.30 per 100 pounds. That's now $2.50 per 100 pounds, subject to a minimum charge of $20 per load, which had been $9 per load. Where the origin is from outside the city and there's a contract approved by the mayor, that rate is going from $1.30 per 100 pounds up to $2.50, and with a minimum charge of $20 per load, whereas before it had been $13.50. All other origins where there's no written contract had been $1.55 per 100 pounds. It's now $2.50, subject to a minimum charge of $20 per load, which previously had been $13.50. Waste generated from commercial or industrial source had previously been $1.30 per 100 pounds, or $3.60 per cubic yard, subject to whichever was higher, subject to a minimum of $9 per load. If you didn't have a contract before, it was $1.55 per 100 or $3.60 per cubic yard, whichever was higher, subject to $13.50 per load. That rate is now the same for all those categories, and it's $2.50 per 100 pounds or $7.20 per cubic yard if it's shredded or chipped, or $14.40 per cubic yard if it's not shredded or chipped, whichever is higher, subject to a minimum charge of $20 per load. The effective date of the changes listed in Section 5 and Section 8 shall be July 1st, 2022. Section 10, any provisions not specifically altered herein remain as they appear in the Glasgow ordinances. Harold Armstrong, Mayor. Attest Mona Simmons, City Clerk. First reading May 9th, 2022. Second reading May 23rd, 2022.
Having heard the second reading of this ordinance, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion by Benel.
I have a motion by Councilmember Benel and a second by Councilmember Witcher. Being the second reading, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Can we take questions?
Pardon?
Can we take questions?
Sure.
Mr. Simmons, couple of three things. Would you give us a little bit of background on how we got to this point, please?
Right now, our volumes have increased and the overall operating cost has went up. For example, in the past, we used 2 pieces of equipment on the hill, a compactor and a wheel loader. We're having to use an additional piece of equipment on the hill, 3 compactors, an additional operator. We're seeing our parts for equipment more frequent maintenance. We're seeing much larger volumes of trash coming through. We're seeing our fuels going up. We're seeing just the overall expense of operating is going up for us.
Also, we are receiving from other counties, right? How many other counties are we receiving?
We're permitted for 17.
17. So you think this will affect any of those that they might drop out of having a contract with us or so forth?
Yes, I think it will. Those that can travel to another landfill feel that they may do that.
A major number or half, or you have any idea?
There are some landfills to the north of us. It depends on if the county's in the north or the southern part. They'll have to make that business decision. Is it cheaper to go to another landfill and haul at, fuel prices for diesel is $5.50. A lot of trucks hauling 30,000, 40,000 pounds. You're looking, you'd probably do good if you get 10 miles per gallon or something. So then it's a bit each fuel cost.
So generally speaking, on our budget and how we're operating now, are we still pretty solid?
We projected $2.8 million in revenues coming in, and our expenses were like $4,034,000. So we're a shortfall around the year.
Thank you.
Mr. Simmons, is our prices comparable with the other landfills?
We done a survey across the state, and the average was around $50, and that is kind of what we're seeing as the average across the state.
Any other questions? Hearing none, can I have a roll call vote? Thank you, Roger.
Patrick, I need to make sure I see you in the video. Your face. Thank you. I'm sorry. That's protocol. Kirkpatrick.
What?
Roll call.
Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
I thought you were talking. I'm so sorry. Yes, ma'am, sorry.
Lowry.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Trigg.
Yes.
Witcher.
Yes.
Benel.
Yes.
Gauntz. Gauntz.
Yes, ma'am.
Honeycutt.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ordinance passes. The next item is first reading of an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance, rezoning property located 582 Reynolds Road containing .46 acres as described in your paperwork.
City of Glasgow ordinance number 2022-blank, an ordinance amending Glasgow zoning ordinance, rezoning property located at 582 Reynolds Road containing 0.46 acres more or less from I-1 Light Industrial District to B2 General Business District. It appearing that number 1, Christy Castillo, owner applicant, has requested a zoning change for the property located at 582 Reynolds Road containing 0.46 acres more or less. A schematic drawing of said property subject to rezoning is attached hereto as Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference. Number 2, a trial-type due process hearing concerning said proposed zoning change was held on April 18, 2022 at 7 p.m. by the Joint City-County Planning and Zoning Commission, resulting in the recommendation by the Commission that the property hereinafter described be rezoned from I-1 Light Industrial District to B2 General Business District classification. Copies of the findings and recommendations of the Joint City-County Planning and Zoning Commission have been forwarded to the Glasgow City Council, which are hereby adopted by the Glasgow City Council and are attached to this ordinance as Exhibit B and incorporated herein by reference. Now therefore be it hereby ordained by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky as follows. Section 1. The findings and recommendations of the Joint City-County Planning and Zoning Commission, copies of which are attached here to as Exhibit B, are hereby approved in all respects. Section 2, the property located at 582 Reynolds Road containing 0.46 acres more or less be rezoned from I-1 Light Industrial District to B2 General Business District classification. The real property covered by this ordinance being more particularly described in Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference. Section 3, all future development of this property shall comply with the requirements of the Development Plan Ordinance adopted by the Glasgow City Council on December 30th, 1991. Section 4, the mayor of Glasgow is empowered and directed to complete any documents on behalf of the city of Glasgow necessary to implement this action. Section 5, this ordinance shall take effect upon its passage and publication according to law. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest Mona Simmons, City Clerk. First reading, May 23rd, 2022.
Having heard the reading of this ordinance, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion, Lowry.
Have a motion by Vanel and a second by Lowry. All those approve signify by saying aye. Aye. Those that do not approve, like sign. First reading passes. The next item is a municipal order 2022 on the order of the Mayor, Troy Stevens, is hereby appointed to the Glasgow Electric Plant Board of Directors.
City of Glasgow Municipal Order Number 2022 on order of the Mayor, effective immediately. Troy Stevens is hereby appointed to the Glasgow Electric Plant Board of Directors to fulfill the unexpired term of Libby Pruitt Short, which expires January 31st, 2023. This appointment is subject to the approval of the Glasgow City Council this 23rd day of May, 2022. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, Mona Simmons, City Clerk.
Having heard this municipal order, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion, Norris.
By Councilmember Norris and a second. Councilmember Neal. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Troy, if you'll just sit still here for a minute, we'll swear you in as soon as we bring the other one together. Municipal order passes. The next item of business, a municipal order of the mayor appointing Bo Jones to hereby be appointed to the Electric Plant Board of Directors.
City of Glasgow Municipal Order Number 2022 on order of the Mayor, effective immediately. Bo Jones is hereby appointed to the Glasgow Electric Plant Board of Directors. Fulfilling the expired seat of D.T. Froge, this appointment shall be a 4-year term expiring January 31st, 2026. The appointment is subject to the approval of the Glasgow City Council this 23rd day of May, 2022. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest Mona Simmons, City Clerk.
Having heard this municipal order, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion, Lowry.
Have a motion by Lowry and a second by Kirkpatrick. All those approve signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those do not approve, like sign. Motion passes, and before we go on any further, I'm going to swear both of them in. Council, I'm sure you're aware of it, but we're still one member down, and we have 3 or 4 that have offered to serve, and we're going to bring somebody else before you shortly. But thank you for approving these 2 gentlemen, and they'll go to work tomorrow night. Bo, let me do Troy. You'll just have a seat here, and then I'll do yours. You can read along as I ask you to repeat everything. That way, if I mispronounce or skip a sentence, you won't be behind.
Sounds good.
I state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I, Troy Stevens, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
of America and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
of America and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of board member.
All right, and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability the office of board member for
The electric plant board.
the Glasgow Electric Plant Board,
According to law.
according to law.
Can you raise your arm? Thank you.
You're going to have to correct this as a statement. But that's good. I do solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
I do solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
I have I have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state,
I have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state,
nor out of it,
nor out of it,
nor have I accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons,
nor have I accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons,
nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge,
nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge,
nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God.
nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help me God.
Troy, thank you for stepping up, and we'll let you sign this. I'll bring it to you tomorrow night.
Okay.
Because we're gonna have to make a correction.
Sounds good.
Go, Troy.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for stepping up and offering your work.
5 o'clock tomorrow night. 5 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Well, you can raise your right hand, sort of follow after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
I, Bo Jones, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and will be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability
and that I will faithfully execute to the best of my ability
the office of board member to the Glasgow Electric Plant Board,
the office of board member of the Electric Plant Board for the City of Glasgow,
according to law.
according to law.
I do solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
And I do further solemnly swear that since the adoption of this present Constitution,
I have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it,
I have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it,
nor have I accepted a challenge to fight a duel with the deadly weapons,
nor have I accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons,
nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge,
nor have I acted as a second in carrying a challenge,
nor aided or assisted any person thus offending.
nor aided or assisted any person thus offended.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, and I appreciate you stepping forward. I will bring this where you can sign it, and I'll already sign it tomorrow night.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all. This will get us where we can have a legal meeting. Thank y'all.
Thank you for coming. Okay.
No, you're good. Thank y'all so much. Sorry it took so long to get to you. But, maybe your meetings down there won't be like this long. Thank you. We have a grant that we signed and we're going to apply for. However, we didn't get it in time to, it's for the police department for some equipment, and we didn't get it in time to give you a breakdown of what it is. We can suspend the rules, I think, legally and do the first, do the reading tonight, or if some of you think that we should wait and do it the next meeting, we can get by with that according to April without causing a problem. Is it urgent? Is it urgent? We need to have it in by the, after our next meeting, we need to have it in the next 15 to 21 minutes.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
We have a motion to suspend the rules by Benel and second by Lowry. We will suspend the rules to read this one item and vote on it.
City of Glasgow Resolution Number 2022-blank, a resolution authorizing and directing April Russell, Director, Office of Grant Oversight, to apply for a grant from ASAP, Allies for Substance Abuse Prevention, to be used by the Glasgow Police Department for multimedia equipment. Be it hereby resolved by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, that April Russell, grant writer for the City of Glasgow, shall be and hereby is authorized and directed to make application on behalf of the city for a grant in the amount of $400 with ASAP, Allies for Substance Abuse Prevention, to be used by the Glasgow Police Department for multimedia equipment. This is a non-matching grant. Be it further resolved by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, that Harold Armstrong, Mayor of the City of Glasgow, shall be and hereby is authorized and directed to execute any and all documents necessary to make application for said grant. Adopted this 23rd day of May, 2022. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest, Mona Simmons, City Clerk.
We need to vote to approve the motion to suspend the rules. Make a motion.
Yes, we do. We have a first and a second. All those approve of suspending the rules signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The rules were suspended legally now. And
I
you,
make a motion to approve.
we have a motion to approve and a second by council member, who was it?
Neal.
All those approve of this grant signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those that do not, like sign. Thank you all. You may think that $400, especially if you're sitting out there listening, is not worth your time and trouble. Every $400 grant, every $500 grant, every $200 grant means that's less taxpayer money that we have to spend on these items. So this group here, this body is trying their best to save every tax dollar we can so we can make the ends meet. Thank you all for suspending the rules and hearing this grant. If there's no other business, we will go into announcements. The Glasgow Regional Landfill will be closed May the 28th in observance of Memorial Day. The Glasgow City Hall, Department of Public Works, Streets, Stormwater, Transit, and Landfill will be closed Monday, May the 30th in
Mayor,
service.
I just want to say something real quick, because I don't want to do anything that's illegal. When we vote to suspend the rules, we have to vote individually to have 2/3 of the vote. So I just think we just need to go back and do it individually.
Okay. Let me finish just one announcement. In observance of Memorial Day, have your Monday and Tuesday garbage and recycling curbside Tuesday, the 31st at 7 a.m. for the pickup. We'll go back and instead of just voting to suspend the rules, you'll have to do a roll call and get it that way. I'm sorry.
So we still have the first and the second, first by Benel, second by Norris.
Just suspend the rules, yes.
Okay.
But you have to have a roll call.
Yes, right.
I'm sorry.
Norris? Yes. Neal? Yes. Lowry?
Yes.
Kirkpatrick?
Yes, ma'am.
Honeycutt?
Yes.
Gauntz?
Yes, ma'am.
Benel?
Yes.
Witcher?
Yes.
Trigg?
Yes. They were suspended properly. Thank you for bringing it up. Appreciate it. We want to do everything the best we can. Second item of announcements, we will have a town hall meeting here June the 6th at 2022 at 5:30. Again, it'll be the same as our other town hall meetings. It'll be for discussion only. There'll be no action taken. There'll be no commitments made. The council can be in their entirety to hear what the public has to say, and then we'll take it back into consideration for further deliberation on some of these items that they're going to bring before us. Monday, June the 13th, 2022, 6:45 in the council chambers, we will have our public hearing, the proposed annual budget, the use of municipal road aid funds and the local government economic assistance funds. And then our next meeting will be Monday, June the 13th, here at 7 o'clock, here in the City Hall chamber. Does anybody have any other announcements?
Yes, just a little heads up, on Wednesday, June 15th, BRA will be hosting a national fundraiser for Jordan's Way. So if you want to go over to their Facebook page to get more information about that, that is Wednesday, June the 15th from 5 to 9. There'll be lots of activities and adoption events going on down there, so it's quite an honor to be part of this tour.
Thank you. Anybody else? I have one. We'll have a meeting. No, we won't. Monday, Memorial Day, 10 o'clock, cemetery. There'll be, as normal, there'll be a memorial ceremony at the cemetery, Glasgow Cemetery. It starts at 10 o'clock. It'll be a short service, like it normally is, and any of you can be there, please come. You can have that on here, but that's the last thing that I have. Anybody else have anything else? I will accept the motion.
Motion for Patrick